So, if you wondered, why are there no leaders in the modern world? The great statesmen. Just ask yourself a question. If you would have statesmen and leaders, what would happen? Would they climb up through the politics, bureaucracy? No, because they are dangerous to the status quo. They will be swallowed up by the regime. They will be swallowed up by the people. Even if you would have a grassroots movement of a person that would try to scream at people and elucidate the most refined thoughts and truths and ideas, they wouldn't have any idea what he's talking about. He would be mocked, he would be discarded, at best he would be ignored. So think about it. As an example, Yukio Mishima, he was a Japanese nationalist. He tried to lead towards a reform, or a revolt even, a revolution even, back to the old days. He was discarded and he was quickly caught committing suicide. Now imagine what would happen if a person with no backing, no support, no wealth, no finances, with the highest leadership qualities would try to absolutely do anything about this world, to rise in power, to rise in wealth, in order to influence on behalf of the gods or on the behalf of the society. He will be quickly destroyed. Why? Because there is a notion of freedom in that, and freedom is feared by the bureaucrats. Freedom is feared by the status quo. You may say that freedom coins the greatest tyrants, dictators, but also the greatest leaders and statesmen. Without freedom, without the understanding of freedom, and you cannot pitch the song too high, because otherwise the poor human gooks won't know what you're talking about at all. So you cannot pitch too high with the grandest ideas, the great history, the grand narration, because nobody in the modern world would actually get it, what you're aiming at. So, not only people are inept at attempting to rise, but also they're pacified. Pacified by whom? By the same status quo that is afraid of freedom. By the same status quo that is afraid of statesmen and great leadership. That's why you have mediocre politicians, and the power goes where the wealth is, and the network of power. So, welcome to the modern world, where mediocre bullshits and charisma politics work. And the Max Weber's definition of leadership, or politics as a purpose, as a occupation that lasts for life, in order to commit to a society, in order to commit to an idea, is no longer present. You have pathetic crooks elevated in the mists of power above, and you praise them based on your lowest instincts, the populist mediocrity. This is the scum of the world that you elevated. But do not blame the gods, as Solon of Athens once wrote. Because you yourselves allowed to be slaves, you yourselves picked those idiots to be in leadership in a pseudo-democratic idea, when aristocracy became oligarchy, where democracy became mobocracy, when all those finest aretic virtues and values became nonsensical, commodified, capitalist creatures of pleasure for self-entertainment, for onanization with your so-called virtue, for onanization, for masturbation with your ideas that you never actually understood, because those people who did, they've let the forces, the ontological powers, flow through their veins, flow through their minds and souls and hearts. And that is how the world ends, not with a bang, but with a whimper of slaves slaving to idiots greater than themselves. Thank you.